You could listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. If you would prefer to listen to this in a still position, just allow yourself to take all the time you need to arrive there. And let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways your body wants to move. As you just do your best to not think about the movements at all, not worry about what it looks like, but just come fully into your sense of feeling. And follow those yummy sensations you might feel when you roll out the neck or take some side body bends, maybe torso twists, or even reaching the arms overhead for a nice big morning stretch. You can continue to move even throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. You're not messing anything up if you need to adjust. This is your practice, your time to be in your body, so make sure that you are comfortable in your body and allow yourself to move as many times as you need to find that comfortable place. And if you would like to remain still for this practice, and if you haven't made your way to that still position already, then you may make your way there. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you now mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full and intentional cleansing breath. As you call in this fresh new air into the body, and almost watch yourself as you fill up with air to every corner and edge of you. And holding that for a moment once you're full, to stay and experience that sense of fullness. And without straining as you need to, slowly let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. As you gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to now stay and experience this sense of emptiness. Allowing your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful in your body. Not worrying about the length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting each of these 4 parts of your breath be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can expand your belly just a little bit more to take in one more sip of air. And when you would naturally roll over to your exhale, holding off on that for one extra moment to stay a bit more intentionally in that fullness. And then as you exhale, even when you think you're empty, seeing if you can push out a tiny bit more air. And holding off on your inhale for one extra moment to stay with a bit more intention in that emptiness before allowing your next breath to come to you. Maybe even envisioning on your inhales that all of your energy that's usually going in so many different directions to so many things that we do in this world that's outside of the body. You can almost envision that all of these lines of energy, as you inhale, are just turning around and coming back to you, calling your energy back to you. And as your body exhales, this energy grounds you down into your seat, into where you are in space right now. And there's no rush whatsoever. You can continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good. And at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether as you now become the observer of your body breathing you. Remembering how our breath and our body breathing is the one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so letting go of this voluntary guidance we just had over the breath, as you now take a step back and just observe the automatic process that is your body breathing you, just as your body does every single moment of every day, even when you are in a deep state of sleep. Your body breathes gently and just enough to keep you alive. And so seeing if you can watch this process of your gentle breath coming and going with the same energy that you'd have when you would watch waves as they roll up along the shoreline. Not trying to change anything about the size or speed of the waves, but you simply have a seat and watch as they come and go, knowing that they will always come and go. And making note now of any resting expression that is on your face at this moment. Even with the eyes closed, if you were to catch a glimpse of yourself in a mirror, what expression might be resting there? Noticing the areas of the face where tension tends to gather. Making note of any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression. Maybe the mouth is holding a lot of tension in the jaw or the lips. Maybe the nostrils are flared or the brow is tense. And just allow your awareness of these areas of tension be all that you need to instead exhale into these spaces and simply allow your jaw to hang into place. Allow your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth as the lips rest softly on one another. Remembering that when you let go of that extra tension in the mouth, everything is held exactly where it needs to be. And there is no extra holding required of you. It is safe for you to let go and to trust your own anatomy. Your skin holds everything intact and where it needs to be without any of your extra help. And so you can feel that softness in your mouth. Naturally allow the chin to relax even further, along with the nostrils. As you allow that release to naturally spread outward and upward, as the cheeks soften a bit further, and the ears. All of those tiny muscles along your lash line, the ones that scrunch up when you squint, even feeling those soften as your eyelids just rest on one another. Allowing your forehead to be wide and deep. As you feel your eyebrows relax just a little bit more, remaining tension. As you almost see or imagine all of the tiny muscles that actually exist in your face. All of the muscles that have created every expression you've ever made. And seeing these muscles in your face, simply ungrip from the bones and release back into the support of your skin. As you feel this sense of stillness and release and acceptance in the muscles of the face, even if just for a moment. Allowing yourself to be exactly as you already are. Even feeling your brain just resting in the skull. Feeling the shoulders softening down just a bit further. As all the muscles down the arms almost roll off of the bones. Feeling a sense of softness in the hands and fingers as well. As you allow that same sense of release and acceptance to naturally spread down the torso, as all the muscles across the abdomen soften a bit further. And you fully release yourself into whatever surface is beneath you. As you fully allow yourself to be held and supported by the surface that is beneath you. Maybe almost feeling your pelvic floor lengthen and widen into your seat. Relaxing your glutes just a little bit more. As all the muscles down your legs now almost feel like they're rolling off of the bones as well. And you just allow this sense of softness and release and acceptance in the body to overtake your entire body. Almost like a first wave of relaxation from the tip of your head all the way down to your toes and every inch in between. This full-bodied exhale into exactly where you are right now. And perhaps there are thoughts in the mind or sensations in the body that aren't fully on board with where you are right now. Maybe areas of mental or physical resistance to softening the body. And if that is the case, you can allow those things to be here as well. And remind yourself that this practice is not about ignoring all of the unpleasant things and accepting everything as good. But it is about remembering that everything in this life changes. And so it is okay for you to feel and accept fully who you are and where you are at this exact moment, because it is so temporary. And there will never be another moment in your entire life where you will feel exactly as you do right now. And so even if it's just for a moment, appreciating exactly your experience right now. And trusting that if there are thoughts that pop up or reminders that bubble up from within you about aspects of your life that you don't like, that you want to change, that make you feel unsafe, allowing those to be here as well, and not shoving them away or ignoring them, but allowing them to act as seeds and plants just growing within you. knowing that there will always be a period of time between when we recognize we need to make a change, when that seed is first planted, and when we actually have the strength and power and resources to make those changes reality. And we are moving through so many different aspects of change every single moment. And so there may be seeds of change within you that are tall plants that are getting ready to make action in this world. And there may be some that are just being planted now, just a small, quiet idea. And all the stages of growth in between. And so just have so much patience and kindness with yourself along all of your journeys of change. And if you let some awareness start to make more of its way, or more of your attention, allowing more of it to come to your heart. You can just listen closely to this rhythm of your own beating heart. And you can always place one or both hands on top of the heart to encourage that feeling from the outside as well. Just remembering the pure gift that this heart actually is. And how there is absolutely nothing that you are doing or nothing you have done to earn or to make this heart beat for you. It is a simple gift, the purest of all gifts in this life. A body that functions perfectly enough to keep you alive. All originating from the life and love that is being pumped into your heart from wherever you believe all of that energy comes from. Since you are energy, we know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. And so you, the energy that you feel is you, cannot be created or destroyed. You are everlasting and innately connected to the source that all energy comes from, since you are energy. And all of us will move through phases where we feel strongly connected to that source energy. And we feel like we have an infinite supply of this love and life, and like we can go out into the world and shine light for others in their darkness. And there are other times where we will feel like we are in the darkness, and we feel disconnected from that source, from ourselves, and like we're not capable of shining any light, like we are just hiding, just surviving. And there are all of those phases in between those two extremes that we will feel as well. And this is just like the moon that is above our heads every night. The moon also moves through phases where it is full and bright and illuminated and shines light for others in the darkness. And that same exact moon will be in the darkness itself at times, not reflecting any light whatsoever. And all the phases in between those two extremes. And we don't look at the moon when it is in the shadows and assume it did something wrong or assume it's being punished or assume that its darkness is a reflection of its choices. And so that is not the case for you either. It just means that you're alive and a part of life, and you will move through the phases of life that are inescapable, that we will all move through. And the biggest source of our suffering can at times be that expectation we put on ourselves to not ever be in darkness and to always be full and bright and always be motivated and feeling good. So then when we're not feeling good, those voices that say, well, I should be grateful, I should be happy, I should be motivated, I must have done something wrong, what's wrong with me? All of those self-harming thoughts, or assuming that we are innately bad just because we're experiencing bad things. But we can remind ourselves of literally everything else in nature when we feel that way. The trees will shed their leaves every winter. Flowers will bloom and also decay. The moon will be bright and then in the shadows. And we intuitively know that there's nothing wrong with them when they're in a more restful season, a season of death and decay. In fact, seasons of death and decay and hibernation are necessary for growth and expansion and blooming and brightness. And so we can learn to appreciate the darkness just as much as we appreciate the light. Because we know that the darkness is needed for the light to even exist. Death and decay is needed in order for growth and expansion to exist. And so you can just let go of that extra heavy layer of resistance and expectations that we put on ourselves. And simply allow yourself to be whatever phase of the moon you are right now, or whatever phase of growth in your blooming journey you are in right now. Even caterpillars. When you think about a caterpillar, sometimes the idea is they just cover up their head for a while and then emerge this beautiful flying butterfly. But the actual process of a caterpillar building its cocoon, staying there for a very long time, is violent, and they break down into a pile of goo before they're able to emerge this brand new thing. And so sometimes we will also feel like we're breaking down into a pile of goo before we emerge again. And we don't need to make it any harder on ourselves by questioning and by beating ourselves up for feeling bad when we're already feeling bad. And you can just simply trust that you are already on your way to where you want to be. And small daily actions that better support your own health and well-being and what you already know you need to do will gradually get you to where you want to be, to where you will be. Especially when we have unhealthy habits or addictions present in life. Maybe for some people it works to just snap their fingers and drop it and they're done. I know for some people that works. But for many, it is a long, gradual process of wrapping your mind around a life without this crutch and setting yourself up for a life without this crutch. You can't replace something with nothing. And so if you are looking to rid yourself of a habit that you know is holding you back, you can do some writing about this process and start to sprinkle in things into your life, activities, routines, to take the place of that habit or crutch. Talk to your loved ones about it. Be open about your struggles with it, because you are in no way alone. I know that there are things that spark all of our interests and fascinations, things that we don't know why, but we are just fascinated by learning about a certain thing or by doing a certain thing. Maybe music or art or reading or exercise, cooking. There's endless things to be interested in. And by turning more of your focus to the things that really spark that interest, that fascination with life, and over time, turning your addictive habits, your addictive energy and focus just in a different direction to things that enrich your life. And be so kind and patient with yourself along the way, because feeling shame about our addictions keeps us there even longer. I know for a fact. It is totally normal to feel shame. But it is not a helpful feeling. Especially when we know that we are in no way alone in these specific struggles, in being addicted to anything unhealthy, or doing daily habits that we know aren't best for us, whatever that may be. This is a human thing. We are coping emotionally with the state of everything. And it takes a lot of intention and effort to break those unhealthy habits and transform them into something that better supports you. So again, just be so patient and kind to yourself. It is a difficult journey, and we do not need to make it any more difficult on ourselves. So just take a moment to really let every word that you've heard today, every feeling that you've felt today, to settle. Allow the air to clear within you. And you can trust that anything at all that resonated with you today, trusting that that feeling sometimes comes when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so you can just allow those truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. And if there is any aspect of your life, of your experience, that you need a little extra help with, a little extra support with, asking, just throwing it out there to whoever or whatever may be listening to your mind right now. It can't hurt. Asking for what is on your heart that you need help with, while simultaneously giving thanks for all the help you've already received, for this life that you are allowed to live, for all the wonder that you are able to experience. So if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms to one another, and allow your heart to lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you tune in once again to all of this power generated through you. As you call in one final deep and full breath into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. We take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.